And I would just not eat, woe is me, the world's gonna end, I wanna die, and then I'd fluctuate back into it again. So, like common sense, I knew something, wasn't right. Like, I'm not a stable person.
Taylor, Victoria, Maria Sanchez. Those are just a few of the names of the personalities that confessed child killer Letecia Stauch claims to have, but prosecutors and their experts say it's all an act.
And what did you note in your notes with regards to her self-diagnosis of multi-personality disorder, PTSD, and bipolar disorder?
I said she appeared to be at baseline psychiatrically, meaning I did not see any of that. I said there's no overt symptoms of bipolar disorder or PTSD present.
Thanks for joining us here on Law and Crime. I'm Angenette Levy. The jury in Letecia Stauch's murder trial have heard her confess to murdering her 11-year-old stepson Gannon in January of 2020. They've also heard her describe, through interviews with psychologists evaluating her, multiple personalities that she claims to have. Prosecutors played excerpts from interviews conducted by Dr. Loandra Torres. Dr. Torres and a colleague evaluated Stauch in 2022, long after her arrest. Stauch told Dr. Torres she created these personalities.
You said Taylor was the protector?
Yeah, Taylor's my main person. No, Maria's my protector. Taylor's my main personality.
Thank you. Maria.
Mm-hmm. Victoria is the only personality that I have like empathy in, because I store so much of trauma. If you want me to be like, if a friend's talking to me and they need me to give them advice, I have to switch to Victoria to actually cry.
Stauch then discussed a personality named Letecia.
And then Letecia, she's bipolar. She would be doing the most. Like, you'll notice when I'm on Letecia. Actually, the psychiatrist the other day came and changed my meds. She was doing the most. She's bipolar sick, and she was up for 4 or 5, 6 days at a time.
Stauch claims to have multiple personality disorder. The formal name for that is dissociative identity disorder. Dr. Torres was asked about that disorder and whether someone who suffers from it actually creates or controls these personalities.
What impact does it have when she says, I created these personalities?
When it comes to dissociative identity disorder, that's not the understanding in terms of what that looks like. It's not about creating or having control over several distinct personalities. In short, it's when somebody is experiencing 2 or more personality states, and it's usually accompanied by some sort of amnesia, blackouts, a period of not remembering what you were doing. It's a complex diagnosis. Essentially, the different personality states themselves are not controlled.
Prosecutors also played a portion of an interview in which Letecia Stauch described her behavior in the past while she was in school.
I'd be so excited. I'd be doing this degree and that degree and that degree. How did I get them all? Because of those times. But then there'd be times when I wouldn't be turning in my schoolwork, and I'd have to message the teacher and be like, look, the rest right now, like next week I'll catch up and do 3 weeks worth of work, but just not this week, And so you learn that's just not normal. Like, if you guys, one of y'all came to work with each other like that, and you consistently came like that, you'd be thinking one of 2 things. Are you on drugs? Or is something really wrong? And I don't do drugs. So, the more and the more that happened, I became cognizant of it. And then Harley, as she got older, she started noticing. She was like, Mom, you'll be this personality, then you'll be this one, and then I don't even know sometimes. And she just learned to to deal with it. And then sometimes they can't even pry me out of the room because I won't leave for days.
The prosecutor then asked Dr. Torres whether what Letecia Stauch described fit the diagnosis of dissociative identity disorder.
Despite what Ms. Stauch is saying, to me, it sounds like she's trying to explain different mood states as opposed to different personality states. And it sounds to me as though she's trying to explain to us that she can be manic and then depressive or have depression, kind of reflecting a bipolar disorder. But what's particularly marking is that idea that she can anticipate when she's going to come out of a depression. As she noted in the video, she talks about having all this energy to have all of these degrees, and then she might be depressed, not want to come out of her room. She might not do the work associated with teaching that she's supposed to be doing, but she can catch up on it the following week when she comes out of this depressive state. I mean, in bipolar disorder, again, you can't anticipate or plan when you're going to be manic or when you're going to be depressed. Those are not things that one can control.
Stauch then described a personality named Maria Sanchez. Stauch says Maria Sanchez was the personality in charge when she attacked a deputy while being transported back to Colorado from South Carolina following her arrest.
Like, think about it. In that instance with that lady, that Deputy James, it was accurate. She ended up having a gun on me. So or what else she'd been doing with a gun, pointing at me. She was trying to kill me with it. So, like, that was a perfect example why it was accurate, you know what I'm saying? And, of course, Maria came. That whole incident happened when Maria came, and she's just going to regulate on, you know what I mean? So, I think that's usually always accurate. Like, the whole incident with the guy trying to tell me I hit somebody. I didn't really hit somebody, but these people were out to get me the whole time, and I kept telling them, like, look, there ain't no way I hit somebody. Y'all were setting me up. Like, who hit somebody and there's no marks? So I knew they were doing that because his last name was Sanchez and Maria's last name is Sanchez. So how did that happen? You know what I mean?
Dr. Torres was then asked her opinion about that portion of the interview.
With people who actually suffer from dissociative identity disorder, would they know the other personas?
Sometimes.
Explain.
So it's going to be, I'm going to say, case by case dependent, but the research suggests that the clinical presentation of a dissociative identity disorder, they used to think that there was no memory or awareness of these other personalities that one might be experiencing. But now it's thought to be more porous, meaning that there is some awareness that this might be happening, but it's going to be a case by case thing.
Dr. Torres then watched video of that assault and its aftermath for the first time in the courtroom.
She keeps threatening me. Stop. Well, she keeps threatening me.
Stop.
She keeps on threatening me. I have stopped it. She keeps on.
Well, she got out of the restraints.
She keeps on. Threatening me. I will for you. She keeps
Put your arm down. Put your arm
But she
down.
keeps threatening me the whole time.
Tisha, give me your arm.
I will to you, but not to her.
Tisha, give me your
I will
arm.
to you, but not to her.
Cooperate with me.
Now.
Cooperate with me.
I will with you, but not with her.
Cooperate with me.
I will with you, not with her.
Tisha?
I will with you. I said I would.
Then give me your arm now.
I said I would with you. I said I would with you. I said I would with you. Because
Stop resisting.
I'm not resisting. I said I would with her. Well, the other
They're
girl,
double locking.
Here's what Dr. Torres had to say when the prosecutor asked her about that video with the deputies.
But is it consistent with what she's telling you, that she switched worlds or switched personalities and Maria went into protection mode and assaulted the deputy?
I would expect that if she had gone into this personality of Maria, that it would be presenting as the Maria that I saw in Dr. Lewis's videos, meaning with the Hispanic accent.
Dr. Torres ultimately diagnosed Letecia Stauch with a personality disorder that had borderline and narcissistic traits, meaning she lacks empathy. She did not find Letecia Stauch to be insane or incompetent to stand trial. Another psychologist who evaluated Stauch testified about notes she was provided from jail staff.
Did you see other notes within, what are these notes called within the jail system?
Progress notes.
Progress notes with regards to her acting out or acting crazy.
Yes.
I'll refer to you to October 30th, 2020 at 5:54 p.m.
Yes. So on October 30th, one of the mental health clinicians, Ed Keaveney, had written a progress note. And he had added in that the ward deputy who was observing her that day or working in the ward that day informed Ed that she stated she said she's going to act out because she wants to be listed as crazy.
Was this consistent again to what she told you back on September 11th, 2020?
Yes.
So bottom line, the experts that testified for the state don't believe that Letecia Stauch is in perfect mental health. Who is? They believe she has a personality disorder. But as far as being insane or having multiple personality disorders, they say it's all a show. For Law and Crime, I'm Angenette Levy.